Hi, boys and girls. For our new science unit, which is called Materials and Motion, we'll first be looking at materials. Materials are just different things that you can make things out of. And the first material we will be looking at is wood. So this is the word wood. Go ahead and read that, wood. I'll put that right up here. And there's the word material. We'll be looking at materials and wood. Where does wood come from? Trees. So I'll go ahead and put the word tree. Do you remember that from our tree unit? Wood comes from trees. Now, in your materials and motion bag, you have a little baggie number 1. And in baggie number 1, there's 5 pieces of wood. Let me show you what they are and what they're called. Now, this right here, it has a little black dot on the end to help you know which one, is called basswood. Basswood comes from a linden tree. Okay, we'll be learning about that during our science time. Basswood comes from a linden tree. Everyone say basswood. And if you can find your piece of basswood, you can look at it, feel it, smell it. Another kind of wood is called cedar. Cedar has a red dot on the end. Cedar looks a little different than the basswood. It does. This is a cedar tree, and it looks different than the linden tree. So this is cedar. I'll put that up. So we have basswood and cedar. Another kind that looks kind of like the basswood, and there's no dots. This is called pine. Pine tree is the kind that Christmas trees are usually pine trees. So take a look at that. Has a different smell. That's a different property. Now there's 2 other kinds of wood. Oh, I forgot to put up the word pine. There's one kind of wood you have, and it has all these lines on it. See those lines on the side? Not on one side, but you see them on the end. That is called plywood. Plywood, we will be making some of that in a little while. Not today. But plywood is made from gluing pieces of wood together. Can you count how many pieces they glued together? Count those on yours. There's no picture of a plywood tree because there is no plywood tree. They take wood from different trees and they glue them together. And the final piece of wood, it looks kind of different, doesn't it? What does that look like to you? What does it feel like? That is called particle board. We'll be learning how they make particle board. There's no particle board tree. So maybe I'll move plywood and particle board over here. The pine, the cedar, and the basswood come from trees. The plywood and the particle board do not. Now here's what you're going to be doing today in your small group time. You're going to be looking at the properties of the different wood. I'm going to put this down so you can see the word properties. Now properties are just the different things you can look at about your wood. You might look at the color. The color is a property of wood. You might look at the texture, how it feels. Does it feel rough? Does it feel smooth? Another property could be the smell. Okay, there are other properties also, but we'll look at those properties of the wood today. Now here's what you're going to do. When it's your turn, pick up one of your pieces of wood. Maybe I'll pick up this particle board. I think that's what it is. Here's my sentence. This looks like blank. It is blank and blank. Let me tell you what I might say about this one. This looks like particle board. It is rough and it doesn't smell like very much. Those are some of the properties I noticed of particle board. Let me try another one. Kind of tricky. These two look so similar. Sometimes I cheat and I look for the dot. Now I know what that is. I'm going to try this one. This looks like pine. It is smooth and maybe I'll look at the color. Tan, and it smells like a Christmas tree. So today you'll just really be talking about wood, feeling the wood, and looking at the properties of the wood. Use your senses to look at the properties.